Hi lovelies, welcome to the free weekly reading with me, Sarah Martucci, psychic medium, certified crystal healer, tarot reader, Reiki 1 practitioner, all things weird and paranormal. I just love it. I just do it. And I'm bringing you the free weekly reading for the week ahead of July 9th through July 15th of 2018. Am I also full hair and makeup with a ratty old t-shirt? Yes, I am. Does it also look like it's in my bedroom? Because it does. Still kind of working out the kinks about where to do the weekly video, so this will probably change again next week. Thank you guys for putting up with me. I just can't seem to find a space that feels right, so I was like, nah, fuck it. Today we'll do it in my bedroom. Who cares? So, yeah, here it is. All right, so this week we've got some wild astrology going on. We're still in Cancer season. We're in the midst of it. Also, too, we have a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Cancer as well, coming up on the 12th this Thursday. This is going to be intense. With new moons, this talks about new beginnings, so something's got to come to an end. We got to let something go. With the sign of Cancer and Cancer season, we're talking about food and security. We're talking about our safety issues, mom and mothering issues. We're also talking about our family and our roots, our heritage. So there's a lot on the table right now. There's a feeling here, too, that we're kind of like restructuring, reworking, kind of. We're trying to see what works for our family and what works for us, what does and what doesn't work. So don't be afraid this week to kind of delve into that. See what would help the group, what would help everyone. Maybe for you this week is just kind of maybe getting rid of some heritage or some root stuff that doesn't work. Maybe some generational things that have been passed down you don't want to do anymore. Maybe for others, you really like the structure that was put in place, so you're kind of building upon it now. Maybe you're deciding that you want a family, or maybe you want to go buy a home. What is your safety and security issues? And kind of working on that. Maybe it's food for you. I know it is for me. Dealing with my food issues and safety and security around that too. I think that's always going to be an issue. I just love food and I love all things that aren't good for me. Never said no to a honey bun. I don't plan on doing so either. So, but what's the best way for me to take care of my safety, my health needs, and my food wants and needs with that, while also taking care of my safety and security? I don't always have to turn to honey buns. There's other positive ways to eat and get the sweet taste that I'm looking for. So yeah, just some things to think about this week. And also too, with solar eclipses, this is kind of opening up a doorway here. So we're being asked, it's time to walk through something here, and in order to do that, we gotta let something old go. So what do we need to let go of that's old this week, that isn't working, that's outdated, or something that's older, but that maybe we can build a new and better structure or root system from? So yeah, just go easy on yourself this week. Take it nice and slow, because we also, because why not, have 5 fucking planets in retrograde. On top of that, we also have Chiron, which is a comet, in retrograde too. So on a technicality, we've got 6 things in retrograde. Not to mention, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself here, freak you guys out, but on the 25th, also Mercury is about to go into retrograde too. Holy fucking hell. Yeah. So there's that. But really what that does is it asks us to kind of slow down, take stock, reassess, sit down, and go inside. So if you've kind of been hell-bent on going outside of yourself, looking for help, instead of listening to your inner voice, now is the best time to kind of really sit down and focus on that inner voice. What does it have to say? And I kind of posed it as one of the questions this week, but when we continually go outside of ourselves for validation, looking for validation essentially, or getting what we need outside of ourselves, there's nothing wrong every now and then for going outside of ourselves and looking for validation, or asking for help, or somebody to be a mirror, or do you get what I'm saying with this? But when we're constantly doing that and we're not trusting what's going on within us, we're avoiding the inner work that's kind of we're being called to do. So don't be afraid of the inner work. Face that shit. It's going to help you to go bigger and better and to achieve the goals that you've got for yourself. And my guess is, especially with Cancer season and the solar eclipse, the new moon solar eclipse in Cancer, this is going to be about our foundations, really our home base, really going back to the roots of what works for us and what doesn't, and again, gives us that sense of safety and security. Don't be afraid to look at those systems. We want something solid to work from. Do you know what I mean? So don't miss that inner work. That's the very place where you're laying those bricks, or planting the seeds so the roots can kind of grow out and give you something strong to grow from. Don't be afraid of it this week, you guys. So yeah, all right. So on to the cards, because I know that's why you guys are here. All right. So let me grab them, make sure I have all the babies. Always with the cards. Pick any and all that you're drawn to. This is about you using your psychic abilities. So pick one, pick two, pick all three. It does not matter. Pick what you're drawn to. So if you're looking for card number one, this is going to be card number one. How do I do this? Okay, here we go. Card number one. I did a video in a new format this week too. My husband was telling me that I'm a war criminal for doing it the other way, where I had a long, like, up and down instead of like side by side. Like, I don't know. None of that makes sense to me. Does it really matter? I don't know. Is that really a war crime? Like, if I do it the other way, anyways, I don't know. Give me feedback, guys. Tell me, because this way, like, I feel so disoriented doing it this way. But if it's better this way and you guys like it better this way, just let me know. Okay, so pick card number two. And then this will be card number three. So, yeah, if I was to say anything, embrace the contradictions this week. Do your hair, do your makeup, and wear your favorite ratty t-shirt. I don't make any sense, you guys. This is just what I was feeling, so maybe that's more the thing. Just go with what you want. And really the theme this week that I kind of talked about with the weekly is, like, you know, build and strengthen your family. Make those connections. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. I think a lot of times we're more comfortable with people coming up and saying that they need us and us being there to respond to that. It's really okay, and it's actually very, very, very much needed right now for you to turn around and tell the people that you love or that you consider your home and your family that you need them too. There's something important there that needs to happen so that you can strengthen and build those bonds. So don't be afraid to speak and be vulnerable this week with those that you care about. Genuinely, they need to hear it. All right. Let's get to the cards. If you pick card number one, you got the Two of Feathers. And here's your adorable card. Oh, did I do it? Okay. Get it together, Sarah. Ugh. So, if you pick card number one, you get the Two of Feathers. Your deal this week is about decisions and direction. So that's going to be your themes. If you notice in the card, the little gecko is moving upwards. He's kind of moving towards the right. So there's something here about the past going on. So you can see him right there. There's something here about going to the past, either gleaning information from that space, really listening to what the lessons were from that, and moving onwards and upwards from there. So this is something that you've been working on, like dealing with past issues, wondering if you're ever going to get the fuck over stuff, or if you're ever going to be able to move past it. I kind of want to say this week, like, fuck yeah. Not only that, but you're going to be doing it, like, completely and fully embodied within yourself, clear about what it is that you want. Again, with your themes being decisions and direction. So you're going to have to make a decision about what it is that you want, and then pick a direction and go with it. And it may seem a little counterintuitive to do that during all this retrograde action going on. But I want to say to you, you can still make decisions. You can still go in a direction. You can still do stuff. Just take your time doing it and go inwards and follow the direction that's coming from the inside of you, okay? That's always going to be your best bet. You can still do stuff. Even when Mercury retrograde comes up, you can still purchase things. You can still do things. Just take your time and do the research, and make sure that you know that you're not just picking the first damn thing that comes along your way. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Also too, if you notice in the card, symbolically speaking here, again, there's something here about upwards movement. So it's like he's like moving up the branches of a tree. There's something that you've built here, some seeds that you've planted that you're actually going to be able to, like, I don't know, work with what you've got, work with what you've planted. So something's coming to fruition for you, and you're actually going to be able to use what you've planted and what you've created here to really help yourself move along and do better and do well. So say, par example, again, you've been working with the therapist, you've been trying to deal with your past issues and things going on. Whatever you've planted here in terms of self-care and self-need, really taking care of you, it's going to show this week, or it's going to present itself in a way that it's like, I finally have the strength I need in order to move forward. Maybe this was building a business. You planted a seed, it's actually grown into something real, and now you've got decisions and a direction to take. So don't be afraid, move onwards and upwards, take the lessons from the past, and know that whatever transpires, you got this. You created this. This came from you. So use all your gifts and abilities. Use all the magic in your bag. Use whatever it is at your disposal that you need to move forward. And just trust that something bigger and brighter is moving you along here. I think clarity about where it is that you want to go is going to be important this week too. So take a moment to sit down and be incredibly clear about your goals, while being okay, or while being open to allowing some of those things to shift and change along the way. I think that's always a part of like making a big decision and going with stuff that, like, yeah, I have a final decision, or I have a final kind of thing that I see in the end, but being okay with how, whichever path that it takes in order for you to get there. Do you know what I mean? So you don't have to know every single step in order to get from point A to point B. Be open to how that'll shift and change. Just trust in the end result, that what you've decided upon, what you know to be true for you, and it's going to be a good goal for you, is ultimately going to be achieved. You're taking bigger and wider and more beautiful steps this week towards it. Good job, you guys. Good job. And if you pick card number 2, you got a major arcana card indicating major change, major evolution, and major movement forward. You actually pulled the card number 13 of transformation. And here's your beautiful card. Why do we keep doing that? Okay, here we go. Send help. And don't look at my nails. I haven't even gotten them done. Lord, help me. I should have said too earlier that any of the animals that you see, so if you pick card number 1 and you got the gecko, also look up the animal meeting this week. There's an extra message in there for you. So just do a little quick Google search and look up the maybe the animal totem meaning of the gecko. And for this one, you got the cicada. So there's, and again, this will also go with the themes that are with the cicada, but transition and liberation. So if you know, cicadas usually have like a 7-year cycle, 7 to 14. Some of them are different. I'm just, you know, saying the ones that I'm used to. And they usually shed their skin, have a bunch of fun, and then die. It doesn't have to be that way or like that final, but there's something here about a transition that's coming for you and a transformation. So just know that you're going to be shedding a skin, if you will. Things are going to be vastly different. And again, I think that this new moon solar eclipse in Cancer is going to highlight the shit out of that for you. So be open this week to whatever shows up. Again, knowing that you've put this transformation in place, you've asked for it, you're ready for it. You're going to be liberated. Let's be real. Or there's a liberation feeling. So whatever you feel has been holding you back, where you felt like you've been underground and waiting to be set free, something this week is going to spur that change. Even if it's just on Thursday, you're going to be ready to be free, to let yourself go and to live this life and to finally have some goddamn fun. Okay? Also, I want you to notice on the card, he's pointing upwards, which is talking about upwards movement. You're going to be moving on up this week, okay? There's also a rose in here. So usually roses, whenever they come up in reading, stand for a couple different things. First thing I would say that there's an anniversary here. So pay attention to the timing and what's going on. Maybe was it... Well, 1 + 3 = 4, so maybe was it 4 years ago, or maybe was it like the 13th of a month, maybe was it the month of April. where something crazy happened and maybe you went underground and you've just been kind of like working on yourself and taking care of you. Roses also talk about self-care and self-love. So this is going to talk about all that self-care, all that self-love while you've been underground and working on you. Maybe you decided 4 years ago, I'm just going to throw this out there, that you know, you wanted to completely change your diet and start exercising. So you've been kind of underground. You really haven't been out on Facebook or out in the world while you've been going through this transformation. Something about this new moon solar eclipse or this week's going to have you out and about and showing off all the hard work that you've done. This could talk about projects. This could talk about yourself. This could talk about a business, because this could literally talk about anything under the sun. But because it's a major arcana card, this is going to talk about a big change, a big evolution, big movement forward. So this is not a small thing for you. This is a huge thing. So it feels to me like something that you've done to change your life or to do better. But you've been underground kind of working on this and been maybe in the dark or in secret where nobody else really knew what was going on. Don't be afraid this week to bust out of that shell, bust out of the underground, and like a cicada, be loud as fuck and let everybody know what you've been doing. We're ready to see you. We're ready to see that transformation and to clap for you and to cheer for you and to cheer you on as you continue on your journey. There's so much growth. There's so much beauty in this card. So I kind of want to say to you, even though you feel like you may have reached a certain level, and you have, you've still got more to go. So just trust that however this works out for you with the transformation this week, onwards and upwards is your movement. You're done with being underground and hiding. Even though I feel like it was a good hiding and a good taking care of yourself or keeping things under wraps until you're ready to kind of release and like show it to the world. Have fun this week with that. Unveil it or whatever it is in like a really fun and exciting way. Be loud and proud. Have a little fun. Mercury is also in Leo right now. So what that means is like our communication style's a little bit bigger, a little bit brighter, a little bit more bombastic. So don't be afraid to just go out there and communicate in a way that really speaks about your strengths and everything that you've been doing. We want to hear, we want to see you, and we want to celebrate with you. Well done, you guys. Well done. And finally, if you pick card number 3, you got the 9 of Crystals, and here's your beautiful card. I'm actually one of those weirdos that like, the spider is actually one of my animal totems. Spiders are really important to me. It was like a fear-based thing for a long time, and I was able to take a fear-based thing and turn it into a power symbol for myself. Now every time I see spiders, like instead of killing them and flipping my shit, I talk to them and I thank them for like keeping my home and my space safe, for protecting me and my family, for loving me and keeping us good. And in return, I don't kill them. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of want to say this week, there might be that theme on top of security and abundance for you. You're weaving something really important. Whenever crystals come up in a reading, they're talking about our safety and security issues. So what is it that makes us feel safe and secure in this world? For you, this is going to talk about maybe your home space, if we're going with the Cancer season themes. Maybe this is your family. Maybe this is talking about your mom or some mothering issues. Maybe, again, safety and security, maybe food, whatever it is for you. Take that fear of whatever you feel around those things and turn it into a PowerPoint. Change it over this week. You no longer have to be scared of something that should be giving you joy and happiness. Do you feel? So find a way this week where you can kind of turn this around and do better for yourself. Can I also say on this card, if you notice, the little Spido, he's kind of going down and he's going down and to the right. So there's something here about going down and going inwards and really turning towards your heart and inside of you and asking, what is it that I need? What exactly are my security issues? What do I need here in order to feel abundant and happy and full of life? Also in this card, there's something here about weaving something and bringing something together. So I kind of want to say there's like 2 different stories, or there might be a couple different things going on here. where you might have to bring together maybe like 2 different families and make it work, or maybe maybe you've got 2 businesses or 2 things you want to do and you got to bring them together. It doesn't even necessarily have to be 2 things. This could be multiple things going on. But how can you combine all the things that you love into one thing and turn it into a place of abundance for you? We've also, spiders stand for like writing and storytelling. So what kind of story are you trying to tell here? What kind of story are you trying to weave for yourself going forward? Since he's kind of moving to the right and going inwards, you might be taking an inward trip this week and going to the past. What is it that I need to take from the past and bring it forward with me in the future that's going to help me? What kind of story can I weave from the past that connects the past to my present day so it doesn't feel so segmented? And again, stories of abundance and security. What can I take from the past, even if it wasn't all good? That those stories that did make me feel safe, that did show me that abundance was possible and that I was the one that was in charge of this. What's interesting about this is on the very head of the spider is the triple goddess symbol. So there's something here kind of coming full circle for you. And since it's on the head, I want to say this is also going to be kind of a mental week for you too. So while you're doing that inward journey, kind of think to yourself, like, maybe at one point my previous story from the past leading up to today hasn't been that great. But something's coming full circle. So again, how can I take those elements from the past or those things that did work for me, or find stories that were good and turn them into a power thing that pushes me forward, helps me be here in the present moment so that I can make better decisions about what it is that I need for my abundance, so that I can continue the story and do better and better and better. Again, I kind of just want to highlight to you, if you pick card number 3, about taking something that was fearful or something that scared you before and really turning it into a powerful symbol for you going forward. And maybe another element of this week is you writing out what you need to know, or writing out maybe your feelings on something if you're having a hard time kind of thinking about it. Sometimes, and this happens for me, like, I don't know what I'm thinking until I write it out, or I don't know what I'm thinking until I talk about it. So don't be afraid to do that. You might even find that whatever you write about might actually turn into a story, or might turn into something that might help and heal other people. Maybe you have a story of abundance that you need to share with others, reminding people that the power is within them. Just my 2 cents. I also want to say, because this is the 9 of crystals, look to the September for these themes to come to fruition for you. And with solar eclipses, it can take up to 6 months for things to come to fruition. So look to the month of September. These themes that we've talked about, whatever's going on for you in terms of your security and abundance, yeah, it should be popping up at that point, or should be coming to a full combination. Or this can also talk about the 9th of a month. So just see how that plays out for you. Again, focus on the safety and security issues. Look at your abundance. How can you take these past issues or past themes or stories and really turn them into something powerful that helps you really, really propel yourself going forward? All right, good job, you guys. And the stone this week, or it's not a stone, it's actually a root this week, is John the Conqueror root. Here it is. And it looks like a peach pit. I'm just gonna be honest. It looks like a little peach pit. It's actually really cool. It's a beautiful root. Holding it is kind of amazing. And I don't know, it just feels happy and good. And that's pretty much the story behind it, or at least what it does for people. Essentially, John the Conqueror was a slave taken from his home and brought to America. And he made the best out of his situation, essentially. But he did fall in love with Lilith, who was the daughter of Satan. I have lots of issues with those last 2 things that I said, but we'll get to that at a different time. Essentially, he wanted to marry Lilith. Satan was like, okay, we'll do all this ridiculous shit that's totally impossible, and then you can marry my daughter. Lilith was like, yo, I don't think that's going to happen. He's still going to kill you, even if you do the thing. So John is kind of known as a little bit of a trickster, too. He essentially fooled the devil, stole his damn horse, snatched up Lilith, and they rode off into the sunset. So this root has a lot of goodness, a lot of luck imbued into it, helping you to laugh and to enjoy life, make the best of your situation, and kind of be a little bit of a trickster, kind of working the situation to the best of your ability. Essentially, though, how we got the root and why it's connected to him is that him and Lilith decided so that Satan could never find them, they would never use their powers again. So he put all of his powers and his energy and his magical stuff into this root, and so now we use it. I like that story. Not necessarily about Satan and Lilith. Again, I won't cover that today. We'll go another time. But I like the whole, like, bloom where you're planted, work with what you've got. Even if the world puts you in a shit fucking situation, use everything around you. Use your personal magic and attract luck to you. So there's multiple different ways you can use this root. Please head over to the website and check it out. I list a whole bunch of different things there and a link where you can read more fully from the website that I got it from about how to use this root if you practice magic yourself, or maybe you just want like a little talisman to keep on you. So yeah, head over to the website, check it out, and you can get your full card reading and full card meeting there as well. You guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Expect the background to change again next week. Thank you guys for being patient with me as I transition, it seems like every single week of my life. And guys, just remember, this is your week. Make it an amazing one. Thank you guys so much for letting me be here for you week after week. It is my joy and my honor. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.